Mm. Now, next topic is related to periodic labor force survey. What is the periodic labor force survey, and why generally it is important for the Indian economy? And now, periodic labor force survey, and why it is important nowadays for the Indian economy. And one more topic is there, which is about the gig economy. Gig economy is also nowadays very much explored, and all are talking about gig economy. First is periodic labor force survey. Okay, so it is periodic labor force survey. So what it is? It is in this 55% to 57% male. Male is 78% and females are 37%, and total 57% are periodic labor force survey right now, and launched by the National Sample Survey Organization. National Sample Survey Organization 2017. It was launched. It estimates the employment and unemployment indicators. So employment and unemployment indicators. This is the estimation. So total labor force survey 57% presently. In that 56% we can say person in the labor force working or seeking available for the worker population ratio is also included. Unemployment rate is also included. So this is the gender pay gap. This also show about the gender pay gap. So this is 19% all over. So 50% self-employed worker are men, and lowest for the regular wage is 19%. So it is showing the 50% men are working, and the 19% are regular wage workers. Men are more than women across the all of the work. Okay, they are self-employed. Male self-employed worker earn 2.8 times more than women. So males are earning 2.8 times more than women. Okay, they are earning 2.8 times more than women, and average house worked per week, that was rural self-employed, is 37%. Average hour of the working is the 37 fallen, that is 37 to 30. Okay, and it is the international award, that is Nobel Prize. So Nobel Prize is in the economics, that was international award, and this is given this time physics, chemistry, and economics, and Nobel Prize in literature, that was Stockholm, Swedish Academy. It is awarded the Swedish Academy. Nobel Prize in the Karolinska Institute, Stockholm, that is in the medicine, and the Norwegian Nobel Prize, that was for the Nobel Peace Prize. Norwegian is given the Peace Prize. Nobel Diploma, Medal, and Case Prize is also available. So this is 1895 came and Alfred Nobel. So factor this I talked about the Nobel Prize, and this time given the Claudia Goldin. This time given the Claudia Goldin, Goldin, and this advancing understanding of woman labor market outcomes. So she was understanding about the women labor market and outcomes of the women in the labor market. Okay, so one more thing is there, U-shaped relationship. What is the U-shaped relationship? This is development process, female labor for participation first decline. Now women labor for participation is high for the poorest country, and for the poorest country it is high, and the middle income countries, and then again high income country. So middle income, then high income. Okay, so labor force participation, like social norms are also there, like marriage bars are there, and the career progression, technological innovation, these are some kinds of the negative for implication over the female. Measure taken by the reducing the gender gap. So how we can reduce the gender gaps? So gender gaps can be reduced by the code of social security. Code of social security, that was came in 2020 in the 24 week teachers facility. Code of occupational safety, and that was 2020. And code of wage bill is 2019. Okay, now these are about this code. Now next one is the gig economy. What do you understand with the gig economy? So gig economy is a past worker, they are Blinkit worker and protect for Zomato and Swiggy. So they are working with the Zomato and the Swiggy, and for the delivery of the food products. So independent worker and short term engagement. First, they are independent worker, and they are working for the short term. So they are working for the short term. Okay, so they are they are using widespread internet. They are using startup businesses. They are interoperability platforms. There are lots of platforms. They are working, changing work approaches and rising demand for the constructural worker. Constructional worker is also there. Constructional worker. Okay, so that's why this is a digital platform, software building. Now digital platform and known platform is also where they are working, and they are also working for the part time as well as the full time. Generally they are freelancers. So the code of wage act, that was in 2019. So wage act का जो code आया था, that was in the 2019. And code of social security and social security code, and that is in 2020, wage 29. Social security is gig platform and the unorganized worker, and they are the unorganized worker also included. So creating the employment and helping the startup boost the economy. It is they are employers of the low cost labor, low compliance cost, and the diverse pool labor is also there. So employees providing their flexibility, enable the remote working and providing the work life balance. That's why it's providing the personalized service and reducing the time and money also. Okay, so a standing committee of the Labor, Textile and Skill Development and Ministry of Labor and Employment is formulating the welfare of the gig worker. So Ministry of the Labor and Ministry of Labor and Employment, they are working for the gig worker. And the G20 Labor Employment Ministry, G20 Ministry, they are also talked about the gig worker, sustainable social protection of the gig worker. And Rajasthan state government is also given a platform for the gig workers in 2023 bill. In the Rajasthan, it was passed. So gig workers are the consumers who are providing the personalized services, employers who are providing the flexible working, low cost labor, low compliance cost, diverse pool of the laborers are available, and various sectors are there in the society, help the startup and boost the economy also. So this is about the gig worker. Next question about incremental cash reserve ratio. Incremental cash reserve ratio. Incremental cash reserve ratio. So this ratio is a cash reserve ratio, and that is a net demand and time liability of the RBI, maintaining the liquidity cash, maintaining the liquidity, and this liquidity is maintained by the RBI. Net NDTL is there. RBI Act was there, RBI Act, and it is establishing the scheduled commercial bank. They comes under the RBI Act for maintaining the CRR, for maintaining the CRR. Okay, CRR like incremental cases of ratio and cases of ratio, all this. So application of the CRR, that is 100 NTTL, and presently 4.5% of the CRR is there. Total maintenance of the RBI is 4.5. Okay, and application of the ICRR and CRR. So NDTL is total 150 and 50, and there is a 4.5% of the CRR, and ICRR is about 10%. ICRR, incremental cash reserve ratio, that is 10%. So it will manage the liquidity. Why it is 10%? It will manage the liquidity, and government to sustain the foreign inflow withdrawal 2000 notes. Inflation control, it will control our inflation. If it's not too much, then it will control the inflation, and will adopt the tighter monetary policy, and tighter monetary policy we can adopt, and decrease the lending. Bank resilience will be there, so more bank resilience will be there. And one more thing is bring down the demands of goods and services, decrease lending. So that's why liquidity management tools are there. One tool is open market operations, second tool is way and means advances, that is the temporary loan facility. So way and means, and this is the temporary loan facility, that is way and means. And second is open market operation. So this is about the refers sale on purchase of the government securities and standing deposit facility, and that was by the RBI. Altering repo and reverse repo rates, that is also important for liquidity management. So what government does the RRR, like repo rate or reverse repo rate, they will increase it. They will more purchase the government securities from market or sell it again. So this vice versa they can do. And standing deposit facilities are also there. So liquidity deposit from banks without giving government security, that is the standing deposit facility. They are not giving any kind of the loan, any kind of the security returns to the bank, that is the standing deposit facility. Second is altering repo and reverse repo rate, and third is open market operation, and fourth one is V and mean advances. By this temporary loan facilities available. So these all tools are the liquidity management tools. Okay, now next question is surplus transfer by RBI. Surplus transfer by RBI. Okay, so RBI is required to pay income tax, and this tax is like RBI Act 1934. It is government in accordance with the section 47 of the RBI Act. So RBI total expenditure is significantly lower, and they are generating surplus. Now RBI presently generating the surplus, and RBI expenditure is lower. So RBI uses to keep major chunk of this surplus with the contingency fund and asset development fund. So one fund is contingency fund, and the second fund is the asset development fund. Asset development fund. Two funds are there: contingency fund and asset development fund. And these Malegam committee recommendation that was given, Malegam committee, and that was came in 2013. Okay, this committee was revised economical capital framework. And now next one was the Bimal Jalan committee. Bimal Jalan committee, that was surplus to government increase. There was a surplus increase in the government, that was the Bimal Jalan committee talked about this. And the Malegam committee recommendation was a revised economical capital framework. So these two committees was talking about the surplus transfer by the RBI. Now presently, if I'm showing this graph, then this surplus, and now this is the graph. Okay, so this is 15 and 0009, and this is 99112. So this total graph is presenting as a surplus. Now transactional from London Interbank offered rate, LIBOR. What is LIBOR? Okay, so LIBOR, Reserve Bank of India has issued an advisory to bank, and the RBI regulated. So this is ensure a complete transactional from the London Interbank offered rate. There is a London interbank and offer rate, and this rate is providing the advisory bank for the RBI. Okay, so this is LIBOR. LIBOR is talking with the MIFOR. MIFOR is the Mumbai Interbank Forward out rate, and Mumbai Interbank and forward outright and rate. Okay, so MIFOR is also there. So this will be phased out now. These both will be phased out. MIFOR is a domestic interest rate, so this is for the domestic purpose, and it is for the international purpose. Okay, and some large banks manipulated the reference rate up and down providing the fast data. So now there is a benchmark rate, that is LIBOR. LIBOR is the global benchmark interest rate, and global bank lend to the one another, that is the LIBOR, and that is the financial benchmark. Regulations are done with the Financial Conduct Authority. There is a authority name is Financial Conduct and Authority. Financial Conduct Authority. This is regulating this, and the purview of the UK, under the purview of the UK. Okay, so calculated for the five currencies, that is the US dollar. Now there is a euro, and they are also calculating in the pound, and they are also calculating in the franc and Japanese yen. Okay, so face Solbeck, the US dollar LIBOR allowed to be published. So LIBOR transitional benefits क्या होंगे इंडिया को? It will calculate the reference rate going forward, and robust and the transparent, and reduction of the borrowing cost. If we are applying the LIBOR transaction, then it reduction of the borrowing cost, and the lower interest rate will be there. More competition is there. That's why market for the reference rates are very important to be applied. That's why we are taking the LIBOR. So India's transaction scenario, alternative reference rates are there. So RBI is taking system of the alternative reference rate like MIFOR. US secured overnight financing rates is SOFR rate. European interbank offer rate is also there. Japanese Tokyo interbank Tibor is there, and Shibor is the Shanghai interbank offer rate, and MIFOR is the Mumbai interbank forward outreach rate. So these all rates are imported rates related to the alternative for the Libor. And financial benchmark of the India Limited, that is 2014 में ये फॉर्म हुआ था अंडर द कंपनीज एक्ट, फाइनेंशियल बेंचमार्क इन प्राइवेट लिमिटेड. सो financial benchmark and limited private limited, that was came in 2014, and that was come under the companies act, under the companies act 2013. Okay, so this is the financial benchmark India private limited, and function was market data information including the polled data, formulating adaptation, periodic review, and calculation of the publication. And this objective to develop the administration benchmark relating to the money market, securities, foreign exchange, regulated by the RBI, and this is regulated by the RBI. So financial benchmark India Private Limited is regulated by the RBI, established in 2014, and under the Companies Act, and this is developed to administer relating to money market, government securities, and foreign exchanges. So this all about the next topic I discussed, and after then we will discuss some payment system in the financial market. So I hope you enjoyed my lecture.